When a killer wife realizes everything was recorded. A killer wife. Why y'all killing y'all husbands out here, man? Like, y'all gotta just leave, bro. Just leave, because you're gonna get caught. Anyway, hit the like button, man. Subscribe if you're new. If you like videos like this, we're gonna keep pumping them out. So you might as well come back, right?
It's 6:20 p.m. on September 8th. 33-year-old Colin Turner is locked in his garage.
Locked in his garage. Wait, at what time? September 8th, 2021. So this was like 4 years ago. Okay.
On September 8th, 33-year-old Colin Turner is locked in his garage. His wife, Bree Kuhn, forcibly trapped him inside their own house after an argument involving their 3 children. He decides to call 911, hoping for help, but things would quickly spiral into tragedy.
Wait, so she trapped him in the garage? How you get trapped in your own garage? Like you can't just open up the garage car door and leave that way? I don't understand how you get trapped in your garage.
Emergency. Hi, you guys have been out to my house twice today, and then most recently the deputy talked my wife into letting me in the house, and then she locked me in the garage and tried to break my arm.
Wait, what? Wait, so he previously called police on his wife? Is that what he's saying?
Hi, you guys have been out to my house twice today.
They've been to his house twice today? They've been to his house twice that same day? Nah, that's crazy, bro. 2 different times police are called to your house in one day? Bro, you're having some serious problems with this person. Well, I guess it depends on why. So let's listen.
Sheriff's Office emergency. Hi, you guys have been out to my house twice today, and then most recently the deputy talked my wife into letting me in the house, and then she locked me in the garage and tried to break my arm when I was trying to get back inside. And then when I tried to... What was that? You just shot me. Oh, I got the shooting. Somebody keeps driving. She just shot him.
What?
Immediately, the dispatcher
No way. What the hell? Wow. Oh. Wow. What are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about here? No way. The cops were there twice that day. They talked her into letting him back into the house. And then she ended up locking him into the garage. I'm guessing he went to the garage for something, and maybe she just came behind him and closed the door and locked it. And then she left and got a gun and came back. She wanted to kill him in the garage. But did she have a plan as to how she was gonna like explain this with him being killed in the garage? Like what? Like did she figure, oh, I can clean it up? If I kill him in the garage, I can clean it up easily and just get him in the car from the garage and get him out? Is that what she was thinking? Like, what the hell just happened? Wow. Oh, what the hell?
He talked my wife into letting me in the house, and then she locked me in the garage and like tried to break my arm when I was trying to get back inside. And then when I tried to
What was that?
He just shot me.
Oh, I got the shooting with somebody. She's driving. She just shot him.
So there's one shot, and then he still spoke and said she just shot me. Then she shot more. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Wow. Wow, bro.
Immediately, the dispatcher realizes the severity of the situation, rushing officers to the scene. However, these officers have no idea what they are blindly walking into, because Kuhn isn't just anyone. She is a high-ranking officer in the U.S. Navy. But to understand how things escalated this far, we first need to look at the events that took place prior to this call, because this wasn't the first time police showed up to Bree and Colin's house that day. In fact, police had been to the house 2 times prior to the shooting.
Wait, what were the times? The times
Police
were
had been to the house 2 times.
12:53 p.m. Okay, so that's right, early afternoon. Then it came at 5 p.m., which is about 4 hours later. And then the shooting took place an hour later. Wow. After the police left. Who knows how long the police were there when they came at 5? They probably left close to 6 o'clock, and then he probably got shot 20 minutes later, for all we know.
Prior to the shooting.
Wow, bro.
The first 911 call would be made by Bree at 12:53 p.m., where she would make a worrying claim.
Sheriff's office, emergency. Hi, can I have a police officer come to my house, please? 6184. Okay, what's going on? My husband pushed me up against the wall and threw me on the floor. Okay. Does anyone have any weapons? No, there's guns in the house. And what's your first and last name? Bree Coon. But I don't want him to take my daughter. Okay, give me one moment so I can have my deputies on the way, okay? Don't hang up.
Police immediately rushed to the scene. Upon arrival, however, they were met with an unexpected sight. Colin, Bree's husband, was seated outside, already waiting for them. Not Bree, who had made the 911 call.
We talked to you guys separate. His daughter probably go inside and when we go inside and talk to you.
She's got a shotgun and her pistol in the bedroom with her.
Okay.
And my pistol is on the dashboard of my truck. I'll put it there all pretty for you.
Okay, you stay out here, man.
I'm still in.
Her name's Bree.
Her name's Bree. She's got both the kids in there with her.
All right. Do me a favor and lift your shirt up a little bit.
Yeah.
So why don't you give me a rundown on what happened during your argument?
All right. So she called you right now because she figured out that I want to take my kids to my parents' house in Georgia. More for me, I guess, me to have a break from her. A little bit of backstory in March.
Wait. What happened? Wait. Oh, man. Yo, we got to learn, bro. We got to learn from this situation, bro. We got to figure out what led up to this so that way we can see the signs within our own lives. That's the reason why we watch these videos, right?
Right now because she figured out that I
want to take my kids
to my parents' house.
to my parents' house in Georgia. More for me, I guess.
Me to have a break.
For me to have a break from her. Okay, so he wanted to have a break from her, but he was planning on taking the kids with him.
From her, a little bit of backstory in March.
She tried to kill herself. Back in March, he said. Remember, this is in September. So earlier that year in March, basically about like 7 months earlier, 6-7 months earlier, whatever, she tried to kill herself. So I was just thinking, like, why would he want to take his kids? Why not just leave him with the mom? And since this is more for you, why don't you just go take a break by yourself? You go to Georgia. But clearly he want to take his kids with him because he doesn't feel like she is mentally fit to be with the kids by herself if she's had suicidal thoughts. So he probably feels uncomfortable with that. I think that's pretty understandable. Ladies, I think if you had a man in your life who was suicidal and you had kids with him, you probably wouldn't feel too comfortable leaving your kids with him by themselves because you don't know if he might have a moment to where he might think, you know what, I think today is the day. And some people, they don't go out alone, right? They'll take whoever's around them with them. And you don't want him to take the kids and, and then take himself after, right? So I can see that being a concern. Oh, man.
After she was inpatient, then she was outpatient group for a while. She got kicked out of that group. So she's diagnosed with
Wait. What about patient? What?
a little bit of backstory. In March, she tried to after she was inpatient.
After she was in an inpatient. What's that, like some kind of like psych ward or something?
That she was outpatient.
And then she was outpatient group for a while. Okay.
Group for a while. She got kicked out of that.
She got kicked out of that group.
So she's diagnosed with borderline personality.
Borderline personality disorder. Oh man, bro.
Disorder in March or April. Got kicked out of her first therapy group. Got kicked out of her second.
Why she keeps getting kicked out? What the hell?
Therapy group, and she skipped her last 2 individual therapies.
Okay. Well, so what happened today causing her to pick the phone up and call? I guess she called 911. I didn't look.
She found out I was I was packing my car.
That's what the upset was.
Yes.
That you're going to Georgia to see their grandparents.
Yep.
And then she's like, was she allowed to go?
No.
Like, did you plan on her coming?
No, I didn't plan on her coming.
Okay, you're just gonna do it. Take a break.
Yeah.
And they're your kids, right?
They're my kids.
Okay, y'all are married, had kids.
Married.
They're your blood.
They're both of our kids, and then I have a stepdaughter who's probably gonna be here in about 45 minutes from school.
Okay.
And my stepdaughter is fully hers legally, and she told me before if Kylie's my 12-year-old, she said
if you take I
can't stop you from taking the little kids because they're yours, but if you take my 12-year-old, I will press charges.
Colin clearly fears for his kids' safety because of Bree's mental health, and he tried to take matters into his own hands. He had decided that taking the kids away temporarily would be best for them, but Bree refused to let this happen.
This morning, my laptop was missing. Been all around the house for it. Finally, wait a minute, the dishwasher was running all night with my fucking MacBook in the...
Oh my god, bro. What the hell, bro? Why? Why? Like, I don't understand. Yo, bro. Oh, man. Now, obviously, we don't know, her side of the events. We don't know how he treats her. We understand, all right, she has... Basically, the things that he said, if they are true, they're documented, right? Like, they'll be documented with the therapy sessions, of whether her showing up or being kicked out or whatnot. All that, those are things that are not just he said, she said. Those are things that are connected to like organizations. So those should be able to be easily proven false or true, right? So, I mean, yeah, his side, I don't see him lying on that side, right? But also got to say this, I don't know what her side is. What has he done? Has he mistreated her? Like, has he been overly physically abusive in certain cases that was uncalled for? Don't really know. But still, doing this, has he done something like this to her? Like throwing an equipment in the dishwasher or destroying equipment? I don't know. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, damn, like she's messed up, because I don't know if he done anything similar. I have no idea. But this, if she didn't do anything to him, I mean, if he didn't do anything to her, this is definitely like, bro, come on.
Yeah, in the dishwasher, $2,500 computer. So this is the start, well, I guess, culmination of a long bad path.
Okay.
And cut me off from all the credit cards she has control over. She's the primary breadwinner in the family.
It's worth...
She's the primary breadwinner of the family. So you're not working? Is that what it is? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, if I was the primary breadwinner of the family, I mean, even if I wasn't in my right mind, I'd probably feel like, how do you feel like you have more rights over me to take our kids that I'm financially solely taking care of? Like, I'm the one taking care of this whole family. Like, how are you going to feel the right to take our kids and go off to a whole nother state because you're upset with me. Even if I'm not in my right mind, even if I had that same history as her, I would feel the type of way like, bro, I'm the one that's taking care of all of us financially. I'm taking care of these kids. Like, how are you going to go take them? You know what I mean? But I don't know how he's helping. Obviously, there's other ways to help outside of financial. He could be a stay-at-home dad for all I know. But I can see how someone who's a breadwinner would probably feel some type of way, right? So maybe that's why she's probably freaking out, thinking like, bro, like you barely help me keep everything afloat. But then again, I don't know what he does. I don't know what his part is. If he's a stay-at-home dad, if he's like really, really involved in the kids' activities and making sure that they're good mentally and all that extra stuff. So who knows?
Worth noting that Colin had also been in the Navy but had retired early. With little financial support from him, Bree took on the responsibility of covering the family's expenses, and her job as a high-ranking Navy officer became the primary source of income for the family. Perhaps that's why she felt entitled to take away all of Colin's credit cards. But that would not be the only thing she tried to take away from him.
It's not healthy for the kids to be around it. She's made repeated comments to the kids, both the 3 and 4-year-old, since, today. When police are coming to save us because Daddy hurt Mommy. First of all, I didn't. Second of all, you don't tell a child that.
Sure. Was at any point in time, did it get physical?
I told you I tried to grab my daughter last night, and she got physical and stopped me. So I backed the fuck off at that point. That kind of allegation is the last thing I need.
At this point, police couldn't intervene without clear evidence of violence. Colin denied laying hands on Bree, and with no visible injuries, signs of a struggle, or immediate threat, officers decided to leave the residence. But just before they left, Colin made a chilling remark.
It's going to be the first who crosses the line,
It sucks, man.
Yeah. Well, we can't be getting too far into people's lives. I mean, if a crime occurred, yeah, good to go. But
Like what? A crime?
crime occurred. So if she slapped across the face and you got claw marks and a red handprint on your cheek, that's different. You say, yeah, she slapped me. I believe you. I see the handprint.
I almost wish.
Nobody could have expected that this comment would eerily predict the tragedy that was about to unfold.
Believe you. I see the handprint.
I almost wish.
He said, I almost wish. I'm kind of wondering, like, all right, they spoke to him. That's cool, but she's the one that called the police. So why are we not seeing any body cam of them talking to the police? I mean, of them talking to her during this first initial phone call, or this first call for them to pull up over there.
Nobody could have expected that this comment would eerily predict the tragedy that was about to unfold. Dispatch would receive a second call at 5 p.m., just 4 hours after the initial one. But this time, from Colin.
My wife has locked all the doors and said I'm not allowed to come in. So I'm outside with my daughter screaming that she wants to go inside and I can't.
Okay, what's your...
Yeah, y'all have already been out here once today.
Yeah, and you said that now your wife is not allowing you to come outside?
Come inside, yeah?
Come inside the home?
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't there like another child home as well?
Yeah,
Right?
my
Another child?
4-year-old's inside. She said he's napping, and my 12-year-old stepdaughter is inside.
At this point, Bree has chosen to lock Colin out of the house, along with their 3-year-old daughter. And with the couple's arguments becoming increasingly tense, the police return to resolve the situation.
Hello.
Like, I mean, I'm starting to wonder, because like a lot of issues, there's so many different reasons that relationships could go sour, and I know one of the most popular reasons is like money. And I mean, I don't know how much she's making. They say she's the breadwinner, but that doesn't mean that they're living above their means, or living an abundant lifestyle. That doesn't mean that she's earning so much that money ain't a problem. Um, they could just be barely getting by, and she could probably feel stressed. I mean, in my experience, most women don't want to be the breadwinner. They don't want to be the one who has the bigger responsibility in a relationship when they're dating a man, especially. They rather, I mean, they want to have some kind of independence as far as having a job, but they don't want everything to be on their shoulders, basically. Meaning that if something happens to them, the ship sinks, you know? Most men, they have no problem with that. If they can afford it, they don't have no problem being a breadwinner and everything being on their shoulders financially. Most men don't mind. But I know, in my experience, if you ask most women, that's not what they would like at all. So I can see that being a reason as to why they might be having a lot of issues. It might be a lot of arguments about maybe him not I guess helping her on the financial end. Um, and yeah, I can see that being a main issue, this money. And maybe, I guess talking about the suicidal stuff, but I think money might be the big reason for this. So,
Oh, yes, sir. Indeed. What can I do for you?
like,
I'm Deputy
I wouldn't
Glenn
be
with the County
surprised.
Sheriff's Office.
Hey, my wife won't let me in my house.
Okay, is this
for
wife?
domestic dispute. Yep. So,
Okay, can I talk to you over here, ma'am? Hey, can I just have you wait right there for just one moment, okay?
Oh,
What's
wait. Oh, that's her? That's the wife that was standing outside? This is her right here? Wow, in the picture, she looks a lot smaller, like she looks skinny in the picture. Maybe it's an old picture.
Hello. Yes, sir. Indeed. What can I do for you? I'm Deputy Glenn with the County Sheriff's Office.
hey, my wife won't let me in my house.
Okay, is this
for
wife?
domestic dispute. Yep. So,
Okay, can I talk to you over here, ma'am? Hey, can I just have you wait right there for just one moment, okay? So what's going on today, sir?
I like how she says, "Can I have my daughter?" Like, women, y'all gotta stop doing that, bro. You had that daughter with somebody. It's our daughter. It's y'all daughter. However you want to say it. If you're from the country, it's y'all. Like, it's not just your daughter. Like, if you want to be technical, he gave you the daughter. He put it inside you. He put the daughter inside you. Technically, if you want to get technically, the daughter came from him. If you want to get technical, yeah, you help nurture, but technically, he's been walking around with that daughter. Probably, I don't know how often sperm cells stay within your body, but obviously, he had the daughter first. Technically, if you want to be technical, but I know I always hear women say "my daughter," "my child" when they're like arguing with their baby daddy or whatever, or their husband. It's like, bro, that's y'all's, bro.
she's got mental health stuff going on. I was trying to leave for Georgia to get a break from her for me and the kids earlier today. I just called you guys. Took my photo ID, all my access to money and everything.
Okay.
And then took the kids inside and locked
She
me
took
out.
your photo ID. What the hell? See, here's the thing. She feels like she owns him, like because she's taking care of him and the whole family. She's being very, very controlling because she's financially taking care of everything. You know what I mean? So she feels like she should be the one in charge, and he's doing things that she doesn't like, and she feels like she should be able to control him. So now she's trying to control him by taking away the money, not allowing him to get inside the house, and it's like a control thing right now.
I've been locked outside in my driveway
Okay.
for the last couple hours.
You live here?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
co-owners. We both.
Okay.
So I've been on the phone with family advocacy through
Okay.
the Navy and all that most of the day, so I haven't cared that I'm outside
Okay.
until she came outside with my daughter on the porch
Okay.
screaming. So I came over and she gave my daughter to me, and that's kind of like the last straw.
I mean, coming outside and screaming, all these houses, all the neighbors, all the houses are so close together. These houses are so close together. So all that screaming you doing, your neighbor's gonna hear all of that. Like, that's kind of embarrassing, bro.
You guys,
So, is it legal?
are you guys still married?
I mean, for now, yeah.
It's still legal and it's common
Yeah.
property.
Yeah, so she's not allowed to stop me from entering my house?
Oh man, he said for now, so that means that they are literally on the verge of like divorcing, and that's another thing. When someone is a breadwinner, like the idea of divorcing, it's not pleasant because if they're the breadwinner they're the only one paying for everything. They feel like everything belongs to them because they've been the one that's been keeping everything afloat. You know, they've been paying all the bills, keeping up with all the car notes, the mortgage, and all that extra stuff. And when you have your partner who you're no longer in love with, they no longer are in love with you, they're planning on leaving, and they haven't been working financially. Sure, they may have been helping with the upkeep of the house, maybe cleaning or taking care of the kids and whatnot, which is very important. Those are very important. You guys are working as a team, right? As long as that person is doing whatever you agreed for that person to do, I mean, it's working as a team. But when it's time to leave, all the financial stuff that one person has been taking care of, when they realize that, hey, I've been the only one taking care of all this financial stuff, and now I'm about to lose half of all the things I've been taking care of financially, they kind of feel weird about it. You know what I mean? They feel weird about it. I can see her being very unhappy with the idea that he might file for divorce, possibly. And you know what they say about the whole taking half, right? It look like they have two cars in the driveway. She probably pays for both cars, possibly. That's it's possible. And she might feel like, damn, he's gonna leave with this car that I bought him, or whatever the case is. She might lose the house, maybe, through something. The co-parenting, who knows? She might even have to do spousal support, maybe alimony or something, for all we know, right? So she probably is not liking the idea of all that. Like, men deal with that for the most part, right? More than women, right? So men, even though we don't like it, it's kind of almost expected because men get screwed over most of the time throughout history on that end. So it's like, yeah, we don't like it, but it's like, it's kind of like, all right, we got to deal with it like the men before us. But women are not used to that. So when women have to deal with that, I think it's fair to say that they probably gonna overreact more than most guys would, right? I think it's fair to say because they deal with it a lot less. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's fair to say.
If it's your house and you still live here, by all means, you got to enter your home however you got to enter your home.
Yeah, so she's allowed to change the locks, and I'm allowed to break a window. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not telling you to break a window. If you want to tear, I mean, it's your property. However, you got to get into your house. You got to get into your house. If it's your home and you live here and you've got your items in there, if you got to get in, however you got to get in.
You can't like escort me in, no, and let me in.
Well, I'm gonna talk to her in just a second. We'll figure out what's going on. But
yeah.
At any point with this argument, was it physical? Was it anybody hit, scratch, kick, bite, push, anything like that? Poke, anything even?
Nope.
Okay.
Yet again, Colin expresses that nothing physical had happened between the two, and
The
Bree's
fact that cops came here twice and she still chose to shoot him later is crazy, bro.
mental health spiraling out of control is the reason for their ongoing argument. But with Bree now outside, the officer makes his way over to her, and she describes her side of the story much differently.
All right, boom. We gotta hear her side, and also we gotta listen to hear. Does she sound crazy? We gotta find out.
And so he's wanting to take him to Georgia.
Yeah, I was talking to him about wanting a divorce, so he said that he's going to take the kids to Georgia, and he can because we're still married.
Okay.
Oh, so she says she wants a divorce. Okay. So I'm guessing she's the one that's, which I'm not gonna lie, huh? What they say? I don't know if we want to call it historically speaking or basically, if you look at the numbers, they say more times than not, it's the women that are initiating the divorces, right? And I'm not saying that all women are initiating divorces for bad reasons. No, I'm just saying that's just what the that's what the the statistics show. But I mean, if you're not happy, and I mean this guy's not working, I don't know what his part is. Those clouds are beautiful in the back, by the way. There's some beautiful clouds back there. I don't know what his part is in as far as like the family dynamic goes. If he stays home and take care of the kids, I don't know what. But hey, if you're not happy and you feel like you're not getting any help from your partner, I mean, I can't say, hey, stay with them. I mean, if you're gonna be miserable with them, you might as well be miserable by yourself. You know what I mean? If you can afford to be. So.
Got into an argument about it. He pushed me up against the wall. He threw me onto the floor in the bathroom. And that's when I called the police.
Okay.
Earlier today.
Okay.
Then I locked him out.
Okay.
Well, he had been in contact with my command.
Okay.
So he said that there's allegations of emotional abuse.
Okay.
So obviously I don't want him in there.
Okay.
You know, him and I arguing in front of the kids. So I locked him out. My daughter, she wakes up sometimes, like in oval from naps or whatever.
Ooh, I know what I just thought about. If the cops letting him back in the house, when right now she's telling the cops, I don't want him back in. I don't want him back in the house. And she just right now she's giving her whole little like spiel as this is why I don't. You know, he was physical with me. We're getting a divorce and blah, 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 blah. And I don't want him back in the house. Like she thinks like, hey, this is my house. I paid for this house, or I've been paying for it as of recent. Don't want him back in the house. And the cops, based on what we know so far, the cops did let him back in the house. So she's gonna be so upset that the cops did not give her wishes, right? Of not letting him back in the house. That she is gonna spitefully, in my opinion, I think she's spitefully to blame the cops, like spitefully against the cops, killed him. She probably even knew he was on the phone with the police. She probably knew that he called 911. Or maybe she didn't know that he was on the phone with police. But I think she spitefully decided to do it because they would not, because they went against her wishes, basically. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Sure. And it's usually like him and I will pass her back and forth. It's kind of, you know, she's fickle. Who she wants better. So if she woke up from the nap and...
When you say your daughter, you mean that one?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, when she woke up like that, I brought her out here because she's used to him and I, so I brought her out here. Okay. So he can help calm her down. He snatched her from me and then started trying to use her to, I don't know.
Okay.
He said, she doesn't want to come in the house. I'm like, Daddy's there.
Okay.
Dad.
It sounds like she's saying that the daughter prefers her dad over her. That's what it sounds like. Because she said she woke up and the baby was like fussing, and it sounded like the baby wanted her dad. So she brought her outside to the dad to help calm her down. And now she's saying, oh, he snatched her away, but you brought the baby outside to him to help calm her down. So how is he snatching the baby if you came out there purposefully to give him the baby to calm her down? So she's trying to make him sound like a bad guy right now. That's what it seems like. And I think the baby probably prefers her dad over her. So I don't know what her relationship is with the kids. If she's like, I'm not gonna say a bad mom, but I don't know. Maybe she's not as close to her kids as the dad is. Again, maybe the dad is a stay-at-home dad, and he just generally probably spends more time with the kids than her. That's my guess.
Manipulative.
Okay.
It's not a good environment.
It's his house too, right? He lives here too? So we can't lock each other out of the house. I mean, if we do, he's got every right to enter the house however he's got to enter the house.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And same thing, if we change the locks, he's got every right to get in the house however he's got to get in the house, okay?
Okay.
If he lives here, he's got property here. For the betterment of your daughter, whatever you guys got going on, you got to put aside for the kids. You see what I'm saying?
I agree, but he told me not to talk to him. So
Okay.
I'm not going to let him in the house, but he's going to come in and start arguing.
But at the same time, that's leaving the child. I mean, that's kind of leaving the child out here fend for herself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. So
Okay.
I don't want him to do that.
Okay. But, I mean, I can't stop him from going inside the house.
But that's fine. I just wanted him to me so that she's not out here.
Okay.
They said earlier that since I didn't have any bruises, and
Okay.
there was nobody to witness
Right.
him getting physical with me,
Okay.
that they should do.
Despite Bree accusing Colin of assault, the deputy found no evidence of injury or signs of an altercation on either of them and left the house once again. No one could have anticipated just how much this situation was about to escalate, changing the life of this family forever. And it's in times like these where you realize how quickly life can change. Life can change in an instant. That's what happened in November 2021, when a father of two who was tragically shot and killed while attending a pop-up party held at an Orlando business complex that lacked proper security. His grieving family needed help fighting for accountability, facing powerful property owners.
Wait, what?
They turned to the sponsors of today's video.
Oh,
Morgan
I'm like, what the hell? This is a whole new story. Oh man, Yo, Dr. Sandy with the Morgan and Morgan. I'm not gonna lie, I be seeing Morgan and Morgan ads like billboards and stuff like that. They've been around for a minute.
By scanning the QR code on the screen.
Shout out to Morgan and Morgan.
Sheriff's Office emergency.
Hi, you guys have been out to my house twice today, and then most recently the deputy talked my wife into letting me in the house. And
They
then
just can't get along, bro. And oh man,
locked me in the
bro.
garage and tried to break my arm when I was trying to get back inside. She's currently got me locked in the garage because earlier she broke both of the big doors, and then when I came out here to fix it after getting in the house earlier, she locked the door behind me. And then when I tried to
Yo, Dr. Insanity, that was creepy as hell.
door
Nah.
behind me.
Nah, Dr. Insanity, nah, you wild for that one. That spooks me. This right little animation spooked me just now.
And then when I tried to
What was that?
You just shot me!
I got the shooting. Somebody keeps driving. She just shot him. I just heard 4 shots. Sir, are you there? Sir, are you there? He's not answering.
Chillingly, the line went silent. The dispatcher would let Colin know that officers were on their way, but to no response. All police in the area were quickly notified and raced to the scene.
Open the door. I'll give you my dollars.
Anybody else in there? Can we open this?
Police would arrive just minutes later, but by then, it would be too late. Colin was found deceased in the garage, lying in a pool of his own blood. While forensic investigators processed the scene, other officers secured Bree, who appeared to be in a state of shock.
This is Deputy Lowe. Come here, sweetheart. It's okay.
Are you in charge?
Well, do me a favor. Can you, if they're working on it right now,
Okay.
I need you to go with this deputy, have her see if your car, she's going to hang out.
Take her. I'll get EMS to come check her out. She's the shooter. Where's your kids at?
Right, that's my oldest right there.
Okay.
She's 12. Her dad's name is Runner. He's in the DEA.
Okay. All right, have a seat. Have a seat. I don't know yet, man. I just got here.
No, I'm fine. That's my kids. My husband.
Are kids in the house?
No, they're with the neighbor. He was dead. I saw him and I tried to help him. He was dead.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that right now.
Try to help him? What do you mean? What do you mean by you try to help him? Try to help him see Jesus? Like what are you talking about? What is she talking about? Does she not? She probably doesn't know that he was still on the phone with police when she shot him. Oh, is she about to lie and say somebody else shot him?
Okay? My kids don't have a dad or a mom.
Oh, okay. No. So she knows. She said, my kids don't have a dad or a mom now. It's like, all right, so you can make sense of it after the fact, but you couldn't make sense of it before the fact? You just lost control like that? Now I see why she was getting kicked out of all these places.
Well, right? All right. So right now, we're just going to do this for right now, okay?
For your safety, for ours, okay?
I'm a murderer.
Listen to me. You're not under arrest right now. You're being investigated.
No, you should arrest me. I killed my husband.
Bree immediately tells the officers that she's the one who shot Colin, unsure if he's still alive. She appears stunned and confused. She then says the children are at the neighbor's house, and officers go to verify their safety.
Hello, Mr. Jinx? I'm sorry, Mr. Curtis? Yes, sir. Okay, we're on Jinx. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right.
Do you have the 3 children over here that belong to Bree?
Yes.
Okay. They're here. Are they okay? Can I put my eyes on them real quick?
Yes. Go.
I think she saw it. She's in a crying, bawling her eyes out right now. He says that she brought them over about 5 minutes ago, no more than about 5 minutes ago. So I don't know which one of the children saw it. The two little ones aren't crying or upset, but the 12-year-old, 13-year-old, I think it is,
We'll get
she's obviously upset, so she's obviously seen something. I'm not talking to her.
Yeah.
She's in there on the couch. I was just making sure we have victim data.
Yeah, they're coming.
With the
Oh,
kids
man.
safe and accounted for, Bree is taken to the police.
Well, the 12-year-old, that's not her dad that just got killed. That's not her biological dad. It's more like a stepdad, I guess. I don't know how long their relationship has been. I don't know if he raised her from like, I don't know, 3 years old to 12, or, you know, I don't know if they had a relationship. But either way, I mean, even if she didn't really know the guy like that, seeing your mom do that, if she actually witnessed it herself or just overheard it and then realized afterwards, it's gotta be like on some type of level of traumatizing and tragic, obviously. Because if she has any sense at 12, 13, I think you're old enough to understand that, hey, your mom is gonna be in big, big trouble, right? And you might not see her for a while. You know what I mean? So, in a while, that's keeping it light.
Police station for formal questioning. Though she'd confessed on body cam to shooting Colin, detectives knew that an informal admission alone
Yeah, they didn't read her rights, so this won't be like admissible. So they gotta read her rights first, I think.
might not hold up strongly in court, especially given Bree's position as a high-ranking Navy officer. Their goal now was simple: to get Bree's confession documented on record and remove any room for doubt or manipulation later on. But as soon as the interview began, Bree completely changed her story.
I talked to a lot of people tonight. Okay. I feel like your voice is the most important. I want to give you the opportunity to kind of explain.
He pushed me up against the doorway. He threw me on the ground and said nobody would believe me because I was a crazy bitch. I told him that I wanted a divorce. So he was just trying to take the kids. He's in the garage again and I locked him out. He tried coming in, so I blocked the door and he kicked my foot and was trying to push to go to the door. And I was trying to keep him out. I shot him.
Wait, what? Hold on. Wait a minute. That don't sound like what we just heard. That doesn't sound like what we heard happen. Hold on. She said he was trying to do what?
Block the door and he kicked my foot.
Block the door? What do you mean?
He was in the garage.
He was in the garage again.
And I locked him out.
And I locked him out. Like you locked him out how? Like out of the garage? You locked him inside the garage? What do you mean? Like locked him out the house portion?
He tried coming in, so
He tried coming in, so I blocked the door. Okay.
I blocked the door and he kicked
he kicked my foot. How did he kick your foot?
my foot. And was trying to push.
He was trying to push.
Push to go to the
Push to go in the door.
And I was trying to keep him out.
He was trying to keep him out. Okay.
I shot him.
When did you get the gun? When did you grab the gun? Through all of that. Because for you to grab the gun, you know what I mean? Like, look, yeah, you like some John Wick. You have guns in different parts of the house or whatever. Like, where did you get the gun? You know what I mean? Did you come to the door and lock him in the garage with the gun in your hand? Like, I don't get it.
He was still coming towards me. I don't think I shut the door.
Bree claims she shot Colin in self-defense. She tells the detectives that she was assaulted by Colin and feared for her safety. However, her story is inconsistent with what the officers witnessed on the scene. Bree had no visible injuries to support her claim, and so the detectives continue pushing for answers to make a clear timeline of events.
How many times did you shoot him, Bruce?
I didn't need to shoot him.
He said something and just the look on his face.
What was the look on his face?
He was gonna kill me.
Oh my God. He was gonna kill me. Oh my goodness, bro. I'm so glad that they got the police recorder from the phone call. You see how some people just be lying, bro? You see that? It's dangerous, bro. How some people just be lying, bro. It's crazy.
Did you get the gun when you said you came to the door?
Exactly. When did you get the gun? Exactly.
Kill me.
Where did you get the gun when you said you came to the door? Did you already have the gun in your hands? Why did you have the gun when you went to the garage door?
Exactly. Why did you have the gun when you went to the garage door? Exactly.
The gun in your hands? Why did you have the gun when you went to the garage door?
I just wanted them to go. Why did they arrest him when I called the police? Why did they arrest him?
Oh, she's not answering the question. She's avoiding answering the question because she knows that don't make no sense. What can I say that would make sense as to why I had the gun when I went to lock the door to the garage? What would make sense for me to have the gun in my hand when I went to do that?
I didn't want him dead.
You just what?
I wasn't out there.
Bree evades their question by shifting the blame entirely onto the officers. Failing to accept responsibility for the killing, Bree now decides to stop answering any questions entirely.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. I have to talk to my dad.
Get your phone, but it's real important for us to understand your perception of what was going on with your husband.
I don't want to answer any more questions. I have to talk to my dad.
Before we let you call her dad, can we give you just a little bit of information so you understand how important it is that we get your statement? Bree, he was on the phone with 911 when this happened. Okay, so we have an audio recording of when this happened and what was going on. Okay.
The only thing that we have on that recording is your husband talking to our dispatch saying that you locked him in the garage. Your husband is calm. Okay. And then
She said what?
Your husband is calm.
I didn't lock him in the garage. What?
Okay. And then the second later, the door opens. One shot goes off. He tells our dispatch, she just shot me. About 5 more seconds go by, and 3 more shots go off. Okay, that is very important information, but we can only see so much of it.
It was me.
What was you?
I shot him. I told you.
What was he doing? You said he made you do this.
Towards me. No. I didn't say that, and I don't want to answer any more questions. I want to talk to my dad.
You need to talk to your lawyer. Exactly.
Knowing she does not have much of a self-defense case, she brings the interrogation to a sudden end. The officers then allow Bree to call her father, and she wastes no time telling him what went down.
Hello?
Daddy.
Hey. Where are you?
I'm in an office. Daddy.
You're at the police?
Yeah.
You're at the police station?
Yeah. I killed Colin.
I know you did something. I know you did. I'm just trying to figure out why.
Even to her father, Bree fails to give him a reason for the killing and doesn't confirm that Colin had actually been threatening her at the time. And despite Bree's previous claims, the interrogation ultimately concluded with her being arrested. During her trial, Bree was found guilty of murdering her husband, Colin Turner. Here's what actually happened. After the cops left following their second visit, Colin entered the house to collect his belongings, which Bree had taken from him hours earlier. When Colin stepped back into the garage, Bree locked the door behind him, trapping him inside. It was then that Colin messaged friends and family before making the 911 call. During the call, Bree returned, opening the door with a gun in her hand. While Colin was still on the phone and Bree stood behind him, she fired 4 shots into his back, leaving him with no chance of survival. In September 2024, Bree Kristen Kuhn was convicted of first-degree premeditated murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Our story
Oh,
begins in
man.
Carlsbad.
As she deserved. She ruined her entire life. Ruined her entire life. She could have moved on, got a divorce. Like, she could have moved on, got a divorce. Yeah, it would have sucked. Yeah, it would have sucked. Not as much as this is going to suck. Life in prison, that's going to suck a lot more than, I don't know, maybe paying child support, because she probably would have had to pay child support. And I say this because due to her medical or mental state, the husband probably would have had a good, or at least I would say that would have probably been in the husband's favor as far as custody goes. To say that she was probably unstable, unfit mentally. I mean, obviously the husband would have probably had to get a job, but I mean, yeah, there's a good chance that he probably would have gotten his 2 kids. So she probably was thinking about that, thinking about the fact that whatever assets they had, whether she paid for all of it or not, it would have to been divided amongst her and him, even if she felt like it wasn't deserved on his part. You know, that's just how the law is sometimes with marriage. I mean, so yeah, financially, lifestyle wise, her family would have been split up. Obviously, if the 2 kids that they had together was to go with him, and she would have to get visitation. You know, that's all that sucks. I know that sucks, right? But I don't think it would have sucked more than what just happened, because this one hurts everybody. She's gonna go to jail for the rest of her life. That means she's not gonna be free to live her life the way she wants to live it. Um, she's not gonna be able to see her kids, right? Her kids, the 2 that she shares with the dad, they no longer have a dad. And in some cases, you could argue they no longer have a mom either, because even if the mom is alive and they could technically visit the mom in prison, I mean, they can't hug their mom, or I don't know how the rules are in prison now as far as visitation, but basically, you know, their mom is not home. You know what I mean? So the kids got to deal with that. My mom killed my dad type of thing. You know what I mean? It's, golly, bro. That whole situation sucks, bro. That whole situation just sucks. Could the police have done anything different to avoid that? Technically, no. I don't think so. If you ask me, no. If you think the cops could have done something differently to avoid that, you know, let me know in the comment section. Honestly, I don't think so. They came the first time. They spoke to both of them. Yeah, there's beefing, whatever, but there was no physical altercation that was visible. She said that he pushed her or whatever, but you know, women would make a tap like watch it, get out of my way, like to move you out the way. Women would make something like this, like hold on, watch out, you're in my way. While you're trying to get past them to get to your room or to get to your stuff, they'll take a little push like that, which is caused by them putting themselves as a barrier in your way, right? They're putting themselves in your way trying to stop you. And you trying to move them out your way, like, hey, get out of my way, let me go get my stuff. And they'll call the cops or tell the cops that you pushed them. And it's like, yeah, technically, they're not, it's easy for them to say that because it's not, like, technically, it's not a lie, but they're saying it as if, like, you pushed them all the way to the ground or like you went out of your way to push them when that's not the case. They physically put themselves in a position to get pushed, kind of like in basketball. You know, when a basketball player stands underneath the rim and he stands like they stand like this, right, to take a charge. You know how basketball players, they take charges, they flop. You know what I mean, to kind of get a foul. So women be doing that, because they know that men get in trouble a lot more for physical abuse or whatever. Um, but the cops didn't see anything. They didn't see anything. They didn't see any bruises, scratches, nothing. So it's like, hey, I mean, you guys look calm right now. I mean, there's nothing for us to do here. Just stop arguing. Just talk it out. The left came back, same scenario when they came back. This time the husband called, but it was the same shit. Like, hey, can you stop? You just let him in the house. All right. And this time around, she shoots him. Now she's saying, "Oh, it's y'all fault. I just wanted him to go. Why didn't y'all arrest him or just take him? Because he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything that was worth us arresting. He didn't break the law." And she couldn't handle that. So she killed him. I mean, this is one of those states where you have the right to carry. They say guns don't kill people. People with guns kill people, right? But I have to say, I'm not I'm not the biggest fan of living in a state where it is popular to carry. That's me. And the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of crazy people out there who are not emotionally mature and are very reckless and they lose their shit real quick. And when everything is going well, yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they can carry a gun because everything's going well. But there's some people that when shit hits the fan, they lose control very easily. And when they don't get their way, they cause a tantrum. And when they are evaluating people to get guns, like, oh, you want to get a gun? Okay, sign up here. When they're evaluating people to get guns, they are evaluating them when they are at their best, when they are calm and everything is going well. But the times where you really got to be worried about someone with a gun is when they're in distress and when things are not going well. Those are the times where people die. Those are the times when school shootings happen, like school shootings. Those times when that happens. Those are the times where cases like this happen when the spouse kills their spouse. All right. So Basically, I'm saying that I don't have any desire to live in a state where you're able to carry. Not because of me, and not because I don't like guns, but if I'm with somebody who decides to carry and she has a bad day or she's fed up with me, you don't know. I've seen so many cases. I watched so many videos like this. You know, I've seen so many videos like this on 48 Hours, obviously Dr. Insanity, Red Tree Stories. I've seen so many cases like this. Husband kills his wife, wife kills his husband. Those are the biggest things. Whenever somebody dies, the first person they go to look for is who were they in a relationship with. That's the first suspect. Who were they in a relationship with? Let's see what's going on there. You know? Oh man. So if my girl is gonna have to if she's gonna try to take me out, I mean, I'd rather not her have an easy route like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a fighting chance. I'd much rather have a fighting chance if that was to ever be a situation that I was to cross paths with, you know? So I don't know. This is my thought process on that. You know, I understand having guns to protect yourself, protect your home. I agree with that. But I don't know. Emotionally unstable people, they shouldn't have access to guns. You know what I mean? Emotionally unstable people should not have access to guns. And I don't know how she have access to guns if she was going through all that therapy after trying to commit. Either she tried to commit suicide or said that she was thinking about committing suicide. How was she still able to have access to guns after all of that, after failing to stay in these programs, getting kicked out after program, and failing to show up to like the last two programs? How was she still able to have access to a gun? I mean, I get it. She's in the military or whatever, but still, I don't understand that. You know, you should be you should be reevaluated every year as to whether or not you should have access to a gun every year. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's the case already. Maybe they do that. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it like that, man. I don't want to rant too much on that, but I don't know. Let me know what you think, man. What do you think about stories like this? Do you think the cops did their job? Do you think they could have done more? Do you think do you have a suggestion as a better way for this to have turned out? A better way for the husband to have went along with this? I think if the husband left by himself, he would have still been alive. But I do understand why he didn't. But I don't know. It's messy. Anyway, hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button already. Subscribe if you're new. This was a banger. And the reason why I say this was a banger was because this is something you can learn from. Let me know what you learned from this video. I'll catch you on the next one.